Well, welcome, guys. Happy Saturday from wherever you are residing currently. My name is Claudia Jasper. I'm a yoga teacher in New York City. I'm currently out in Colorado, kind of retreating for a little bit, but we'll be back in New York City soon. And I'm a Cura Grace ambassador. I teach for Equinox and for Exhale Spa specifically. So if you're ever curious, you can always catch me there. But it's such a pleasure to meet so many new faces that I don't know. We are going to be doing a power flow. I'm not going to use music today, just so you can really hear me and hear my cueing. There are going to be points where it's going to move at a little bit of a quicker pace, just to build a little bit more heat. And there will be other points where we'll slow it down so we can find a little more strength and stability. All right. I'm going to offer cues. If you wish to take a modification, please never hesitate. Modifications, use blocks, use straps, and I will cue these things as we go into each shape, and I'll generally cue any progressions that people may or may not want to take, right? So really listening to your body. How does it feel? It's Saturday, end of the month, we're entering a new month. So take it easy. Reminder that child's pose is always home base, right? When in doubt, come into a child's pose, reconnect to your breath, to your Ujjayi breath, in and out of the nose, reground, reset, right? Any injuries that I need to know about, you can either shoot me a little chat message. Yes, I can increase the volume. You can shoot me a little chat message, but again, modify where you need to. We are going to do a lot of core stability work as well, so get excited. Otherwise, let's start in a seat at the top of the mat, Tsukasana, right? So that meditative seat, you can utilize a block here if you wish. I typically like to use a block when I take Tsukasana. Getting those knees just below the hips, sometimes a nice way to alleviate any pressure in the hip flexors. And from here, just take a moment, close your eyes, and just begin to feel your sits bones as they draw down into your mat or into your block. Draw your lower belly in. Begin to feel some length created in the spine. As you begin to sense your shoulders stacking over your hips. And take a gentle moment, yogis, just to roll your shoulders back, broadening up chest and collarbone region. And then moving to our breath, right, our prana. And noticing with every inhale through your nose, your belly will rise and the lungs will fill. And with every exhale through the nose, beginning to feel the navel draw towards your spine. And notice that softness, this lightness that comes over body and mind. And as you breathe in and out, recognizing this breath exists for you not only right here on your mat, but also off of your mat. Utilizing this practice of prana, to help you stay present and grounded and to slow things down. And this morning and afternoon, let's draw our prayer to heart center, and most importantly, lift our heart to our prayer. Begin the class together with the sacred sound of Om, A-U-M, with the intention that we send out a healing vibration to the universe in hopes that it touches someone who may just need a little more healing, peace in their lives. Take a deep inhale, yogis, fill up. Om. So nice, guys. Gently open your eyes. We're going to meet in Supta Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are going to touch. Your knees are going to splay open nice and wide. Yeah, I can increase the volume. Let those knees splay open nice and wide. Place one hand to heart, one hand to your belly. Right? As long as that feels authentic to you in your practice. And come all the way down onto the back, guys. So Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of feet touch, knees, they split open nice and wide. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. And if the hips are feeling a little tight, you can always place a block on the outer thighs, keeping the Hips a moment to gradually open up. And from here, we're just going to take a nice big inhale through your nose, fill up. Open your mouth, HA. So just do two more like this. Big inhale, Buddha belly, fill up. Open the mouth, HA. Last round, largest of your day. Big inhale, yogis, fill up. Taking an extra sip, hold this one at the top. Open your mouth, HA. Now from this shape, just begin to connect to your Ujjayi breath, in and out of the nose. Right, so your victorious breath. Right, you might even begin to sense a thickness at the back of the throat. Right, so it creates this raspiness in the composition of the breath. Right, you might even equate it to crashing waves into a beach. And from here, yogis, just extend your arms long behind you. Give yourself a lovely stretch. And grab your right wrist with your left hand and pull that right arm towards the left side of the room. And slowly come to center, switch sides. Grabbing the opposite wrist and pull it towards the opposite side of the room. Slowly come to center, yogis. Interlock your fingers. Turn your palms to the back of the room and really press those palms back. Now slowly just begin to lengthen the legs, stretching now from fingers all the way down to those gorgeous toes. Big, beautiful stretch. And when you're ready, just draw your right knee up into your chest. Big, beautiful squeeze, pulling it out and away from your right rib cage towards your right armpit. All right, so we're tapping a little bit into that ascending colon for a moment. And then when you're ready, take this right knee towards the left side of the room, gaze towards your right, and maybe the left hand stays stacked on top of that right thigh, and aim to draw that right shoulder down towards the mat. So you're increasing this twist. So nice, everyone. And slowly come to center, release the right leg down to your mat, draw your left knee up into your chest, a nice big beautiful squeeze, pulling it out and away from that left rib cage towards your left armpit. Right, so now tapping a little bit into your descending colon. Right, and when you're ready, taking this left knee towards the right side of your room, gaze towards your left. Aiming to ground this left shoulder, head down, and maybe your right hand stays stacked right on top of that left thigh, aiming to draw this left knee a little bit closer down to the mat. And when you're ready, yogi, slowly come to center, draw both knees up into your chest, big, beautiful squeeze, and a big hug to self. And when you're ready, hands onto your kneecaps. Let's open and close the hips. So you're creating big, beautiful circles in the sky. Open the knees to close the knees. Open the knees to close the knees. Find that full range of motion, right? That head of femurs rotates in that side. All right, now you can take this direction, now close to open. Noticing any snap, crackle, pops. Being kind to the body, just building a little heat in these hips. And then when you're ready, yogi, draw both knees back up into your chest, big squeeze. And you're going to interlock your grip around your right chin. Extend your left long, let it hover over your mat. Now for a moment, I want you to tilt your tailbone under and then release it. Tilt the tailbone under, drive the belly in, then release it. One more, tilt it under, drive the belly in, pause there, keep this. Now slowly lift the shoulders, neck, and head. We want the lower back grounded to your mat, and all you're gonna do here is switch your grip. So grab the left shin, extend the right leg, and switch, and switch. Begin to find a little bit of a pace here, all right? Keep the belly drawn down towards the spine, supporting your lower back. And you're here for 5. If you want to spice it up, you can always draw the palms behind the crown of the head and take bicycles. You're here for 4. Breathing Ujjayi breath in and out of the nose for 3. And building a little bit of heat in this midsection for 2. And 1. Draw the knees into your chest, big, beautiful squeeze. And grabbing the backs of your thighs, yogis, we're going to roll forward and back, and we're going to meet in a child's pose at the back end of your mat. Right, you can step back if you shoot back, take any variation that works for you. And big toes touch, let those knees be nice and wide, maybe as wide as your mat. Draw the arms long in front of you. And visualization is a powerful tool here. So visualizing your sits bones drawing down towards your heels. And from here, yogis, we're going to walk our fingertips towards the right side of our mat. Walk them as far as you can, and then place your left hand on top of your right hand and kick your left hip over to the left. Slowly come to center. We're just going to switch sides here. So walking your hands over to the left, keep walking them until you can't walk them any further. Then right hand stacks on top of your left. Kick your right hip over to the right. And slowly come to center. Bend your elbows, yogis, and take reverse prayer mudra behind the crown of your head. And then walk your elbows forward. Lean your chest down towards your mat and just open up the shoulder girdle. Gently release this, yogis. Extend your arms long in front of you. Now look sweetly in between those hands, and you're going to glide forward to a nice baby cobra, heart first. Exhale the forehead down to your mat. Tent your fingertips right outside of your mat like little baby claws. Elbows are going to stack directly over your wrists. Then on your inhale, you're going to lift the chest and expand open towards the front of your room as broad as you can make it. Exhales to release it, let it go. And just 2 more like this. So inhaling, chest up, gaze up, look up. Exhales to release it, let it go. Last round, inhaling, chest up, gaze up, hold at the top of this one for 2 and 1, gently release. Reground your palms, yogis, right at the breast line. Tuck your toes. Push your seat back to your feet to tuck-toe child's pose. And pause in this tuck-toe child's pose. Kick your heels back, right? Lengthening the Achilles. A little TLC to the soles of the feet. And then lift the hips, meet in a tabletop. Stacking your shoulders directly over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Right? Plenty of room in between your fingers. So you're taking up some real estate on that mat. The eyes of your elbows are pointed forward. Wrist creases are forward. And we're going to find our cat-cow. So on our inhale, dropping belly, rib cage, tilting the tailbone up as the gaze draws up. And allow your belly to drop for a moment. Then on your exhale, tilt the tailbone under, drive the navel up and in, find your cat. Inhales to lower. Exhales to push off the mat. Find a nice cat spine here. Let's take 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. Actually, 2 more. Exhale. Final round, yogis. Inhale. Exhale. Meet back in a neutral spine, yogis. A nice flat back here. Extend your right leg to the back of your room. Flex the foot and let it hover over the mat. And make sure that that right hip is pointed down, right? It's not an open hip. So you can always gaze in between your arms, look at your toes, make sure the toes are pointed down. And then draw your gaze forward again and extend the left arm forward and pause here. So find stability in the shape, right? Draw the belly up and in. And then all we're gonna do is draw our left elbow towards our right knee and hold. So it's a little bit of a crunch. Re-extend arm and leg. 2 more like this, elbow to knee, re-extend. 1 more, elbow to knee, re-extend. Pause here. Now bend your right knee, reach back with your left hand and catch your right foot and kick into this palm. Right? So it's a nice hip opening. There's a little opening for the left shoulder. You're here for 3. Breathing in and out of the nose for 2. And 1. Gently release. Keep your right leg lifted. Ground your left hand. Tuck your left toes, yogis, and lift your hips. Down dog split. Right leg lifts. Bend your knee and peel open that hip. Right? So your right knee is bent. 2 shoulders are drawn into one line. You're pressing firmly into those palms. Try to get that right knee a little bit higher towards your sky. Now lengthen out the right leg, flex the foot, and square off the hips. Pause here for a moment. The leg won't be as high. Then draw your right knee, right tricep. Down dog split. Draw your right knee, right shoulder. Take it nice and high and hold. Down dog split. Draw your right knee to your right wrist. Take it low. Down dog split. Take your right knee, right tricep. Pause there for a moment. And how lightly can you place your right foot outside the right hand? Inhale your right arm up and twist. Low lunge twist. And from here, we're going to make some big giant circles with this right arm. So take the right arm forward, back and around. Right? Notice any kinks that may be going on in that rotator. Just warming it up. See what's going on. Take 1 more round, yogis, wherever you're at, opposite direction. And then come back to center. Your right arm is reaching towards that sky. You're drawing that belly in. Now take your right hand to the back of your head, acting almost like a little bit of a pillow here. And now draw your right elbow head back and spin the heart up. Inhale your right arm back to your sky. Keep reaching. Exhale the right hand down to your mat. Now you may need blocks here for some, right? So on your inhale, you're gonna lengthen out your right leg and draw your hips back. Yes. Exhale, rebend your right knee and tap your left knee down to the mat. So it's a little bit like a box lunge. So 2 more like this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhales to rebend. Last round, inhale. Exhale, rebend. Now on your next inhale, lengthen out the right leg. We're going to find pyramid pose together, hopping your left foot in enough that you can ground the foot to your mat. Right now for a moment, we're all going to set this up together. 2 hands to your hips. So 1 hand on either hip. Draw your right hip back and allow your left hip to draw forward. Now from here, draw your arms down to the mat with a flat back. Either 2 hands to the mat, to blocks. And for some of you, if your hamstrings are really tight today, flex your right foot. Soften the back of the neck. And as you flex the foot, yogis, you're kicking the heel forward as you drag it back so that you can really draw this right hip back. You'll feel it intensely in the hamstring. Find 2 more breaths here, yogis. And slowly, yogis, rebend the right knee, meeting in a plank pose. Stacking your shoulders directly over your wrists. My favorite pose. Kick your heels back. Zip up the midline as if you were wearing a pair of very high-waisted pants. Give the glutes a nice little pinch, lifting the kneecaps. Pressing into the mat all the way to the knuckle pads of the hands. Neck is long. I'm worrying less about how long is Claudia going to keep me in a plank pose. Then lower your knees, chest and chin, Ashtanga Namaskara. Come forward to a nice baby cobra here, heart first. Exhale your forehead down to your mat. Tuck your toes, push your seat back to your feet, a tuck-toed child's pose. Meeting back in your tabletop. Nicely done, yogis. Let's do it on the left side. Let's extend the left leg, the back of the room, flex the foot. So if you're ever curious if your hip is wide open here, just look in between those arms at your left foot and notice if the toes are pointed down. And once you've gotten that aligned, very slowly extend your right arm forward, pointing your right thumb up, as if you're about to give someone a handshake. Now very slowly draw your right elbow towards your left knee. Re-extend arm and leg. 2 more like this, elbow to knee. Re-extend. Last round, elbow to knee. Re-extend. Now from here, yogis, bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand and catch the foot, kicking into the palm and shooting your energy up. 2 more breaths here. Gently release this, yogis. Keep the left leg lifted and ground your right hand to your mat. Tuck your right toes, lift the hips, down dog split, left leg lifts, and bend the knee, peel open that hip. Yawn it open. Right, 2 shoulders, try to draw them into one line. Try to get the left knee a little bit higher. Now lengthen out the left leg, flex the foot and square off your hips, and the leg won't be as high, and that is okay. Then draw your left knee to your left tricep. Down dog split. And draw your left knee to your left shoulder, take it nice and high and hold, tapping into those obliques. Down dog split. Draw your left knee to your left wrist, take it low. Down dog split. Draw your left knee to your left tricep, hold there for a moment. How lightly can you place that left foot right outside the left hand? Inhale your left arm up, find low lunge twist. Beautiful, yogis. Now from here, make those circles. Take that left arm forward, back and around. Notice any irritations that are going on. It's a good spot to recognize. Take it the opposite direction. Just warming up these joints. Now come back to center, yogis. Reach that left arm high to the sky. Now take that left hand to the back of the head, acting almost like a pillow. Now draw the left elbow back and spin your heart up. Yes. Inhale the left arm back to the sky, reach up. Exhale the left hand to your mat. Then on your inhale, lengthen out the left leg and draw your hips back. Exhale, rebend the left knee, tap your right knee to the mat and lift the chest. So it's a little bit like a box lunge. 2 more like this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rebend, tap your right knee to the mat. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Now on your next inhale, lengthen out the left leg, hop your right foot in, hands to your hips. And all we're gonna do is draw our left hip back and allow our right hip to draw forward. Zip up that belly, lengthen the spine, then 2 hands, either to 2 blocks, some of you hands to mat. And if your hamstrings are feeling really irritated today, flex your left foot. And as you flex the foot, I want you to kick it forward as you drag it back. A nice softening in the back of the neck. Take 2 more breaths here. Gently release this, yogis, meeting in a plank pose. Zip up that belly. Pinching the glutes. Pressing the palms all the way to the knuckle pads. The eyes of your elbows pointed forward. Now from here, yogis, I'm going to give you two options. You can either lower chaturanga, elbows grazing the rib cage. Some of you may want to lower knees, chest, chin. Pull through to an up dog, maybe a baby cobra. Exhale. Lift the hips, this time downward facing dog. Pedal out your knees, shift your hips a bit side to side. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Flutter your lips, make any noises, sighs, sounds. Anything that's being stored currently in this body that's not serving you, releasing it. Right, letting it move through the body. I'm a big believer that sound is stored, right? We store sound. So if you need to let out a large H-A, ha. Now from your down dog, yogis, feet approximately hips width distance apart, maybe slightly wider depending if your lower back is irritating you at all today. Right, pressing firmly into your palms, take the weight out of your wrists. Drawing the sits bones up and back. Gaze is towards your navel or upper thigh. And we'll do a little bit of a length check on our down dog. On your inhale, roll forward like a wave, high plank pose. Exhale, pike your hips up, downward facing dog. Two more like this. Inhaling the high plank like a wave crashing into a beach. Exhale, pike your hips up, down dog. Last round, inhaling the high plank. Exhale, pike your hips up, downward facing dog. Walking your feet to the top of the mat, nice and slow, one foot after the other. Feet are gonna come hips width distance apart, and you can always measure that 2 fists right in between your feet at the arches. It's approximately hips width distance. And grabbing opposite elbows, just take a nice ragdoll sway here. Side to side, forwards and backwards. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Flutter your lips. Release the elbows, yogis. Allow the arms just to dangle long. A nice gorilla shape here. Be very heavy. Think of a gorilla. And from here, yogis, unless you have any lower back stuff going on, come up with a flat back. For everyone else, just begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow, stacking up the discs. Head will come up last. Take a moment, adjust, right? Fix the clothes, roll your shoulders down the back. Bring your big toes to touch, fix anything that may need some fixing here. Right? Your mountain pose, your Tsukasana. From your Tadasana, Surya Namaskar A today, yogis. Inhale, arms rise, palms touch, reach up, gaze up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana, forward fold, hinging from those hips. Inhaling to your flat back, hands to shins or mat. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank to start. Lower chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. The inhale, pull the heart through baby cobra or up dog, kneecaps lifted in those up dogs. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Breathing 5 ujjayi breaths here, yogis, in and out of the nose. You might even begin to notice your heels are beginning to draw a little bit closer down to the mat. Find a final 2 breaths here, yogis. Now bring your big toes to touch. Squeeze the legs together there, one leg only. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze in between your hands, and just pause there for a moment. A light hop or a step, top of mat. Exhale, fold, just let it go. Root to rise, reverse swan dive, the arms all the way back up. Gaze up, look up, reach up. Find a little back bend here. Push your hips forward, drop the head back. Exhale, arms to your side, Samastitihi. So nice, yogis. Let's do one more. Inhale, arms rise, palms touch, gaze up, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back to prepare. Exhale, plant the palms, hop, jumper step, lightly, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. The inhales, pull the heart through to your up dog or baby cobra. The exhales, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Breathing here for 5. Right, so a traditional breath count here. Pressing into those palms, right? You should be able to almost wiggle those fingers a bit. Draw the belly in. Maybe even close your eyes for your final 2 breaths. Notice anything stirring internally. There, one leg only. Inhale. First one, have your arms all the way up, yogis, look up. Find your back bend, push your hips forward, drop the head back. Exhale, arms to Samasthiti. Inhaling to a chair pose, Tsukasana. So it's your first chair, right? Just shifting the weight back together, like only. Shoulders are drawing back. And there's a slight natural curve in the spine, right? You should be able to wiggle those toes a bit. Can you get a little deeper into the shape? Exhale, fold over legs, let it go. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. Your journey meeting in a downward facing dog. Okay, so we're going to build a little bit more heat on Surya Namaskar B. From your down dog, inhale your right foot forward. The back heel will spin, rising warrior 1. All right, so we're taking this round a little bit slower. So notice that your right knee is forward. It's in line with that hip. Your back foot is grounded all the way to the pinky toe edge of the foot. And maybe your arms are drawn above you. Maybe you're taking Ashtangi prayer with your gaze directed up. Now exhale, palms to your mat, plank to a chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. The inhales will pull your heart through and the exhales will lift those hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling the left foot forward, back heel will spin and rise, warrior 1. All right, so again, going through that alignment. Left knee is forward, back, right foot is grounded. You're drawing that left hip back a bit to allow your right hip to draw forward. Arms are drawn above you, either released or in Ashtangi prayer. Exhale, palms to mat, plank to a chaturanga. The inhales will pull your heart through to an up dog or a baby cobra. And the exhales will lift your hips to a nice downward facing dog. You're here for 5 breaths, yogis. Deep inhales and exhales through the nose. Our building of some tapas, our heat, our discipline to the practice. Moving with intention. So bring your big toes to touch, squeeze those legs together there, one leg only. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze in between your hands, your journey, top of the mat. Maybe find a little air time here. Yes. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale back to your chair pose, grazing the mat this time on your journey up to your chair pose, right? Notice that you're sitting a little deeper now into the shape. Cinching those ribs together, drawing those shoulders down the back. Now exhale, stand tall, arms to your side, Samasthiti. Let's do one more round. We're going to take this one a little bit faster. Inhaling to your chair pose, Tsukasana. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhaling to your flat back. Exhale, planting palms, hop, jumper, step, lightly, handstand if you choose, meeting in a downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot forward, back heel spins, rise, warrior 1. Exhale, palms to mat, plank to chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. The inhales pull the heart through. The exhales, lift those hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, back heel will spin, rise, warrior one. Exhale, palms to mat, plank to a chaturanga. The inhales pull the heart through, and the exhales will lift those hips, downward facing dog. 5 beautiful Ujjayi breaths here, yogis, in and out of the nose. Right, noticing the heartbeat, it might be slightly faster. Noticing any heat built. Right? Utilizing the breath here to build a little bit of comfort within the discomfort. And bringing your big toes to touch, squeeze those legs together. They are one leg only. Bend the knees, gazing sweetly in between those hands. Your journey, top of the mat. Maybe find a little air time. Exhale, fold. Just let it go. Inhale back to your chair pose. Graze that mat. Sit even deeper into your chair. Yes. Exhale, stand tall, arms to your sides, Samastitihi. Take a moment in your Samastitihi and close the eyes. Notice any sensations building in the body right now. Right? With that, not with attachment, right? With detachment. From here, yogis, draw your prayer to heart center. Close the eyes if they're not closed already, and set an intention. Right? I simply like to take a moment to make an intention mid-practice because I notice things that may be stirring. So maybe it's a note of gratitude, maybe for your morning cup of coffee or your lovely walk on the beach. Let's move a little bit more to it. Inhaling to your chair pose, yogis, Tsukasana. And from your chair pose, yogis, slowly begin to lift the heels and find a tippy-toe chair pose. Stacking your heels over the balls of your feet. Squeezing the legs together as if they were one leg. Now from here, yogis, draw your arms along your side body and slowly begin to tip forward into a diver's shape, lengthening out the legs. For some of you, your belly may maintain contact to the tops of your thighs. From here, yogis, ground your palms. You can have an option to shoot back or step back, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Don't worry, crow is in your future. So nice, yogis. Grab your down dog, yogis. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Stick your tongue out, lion's breath. Ha! I can't hear you. I can't see it. Let's do one more. Big inhale. Stick your tongue out, lion's breath. Ha! Inhale, right leg lifts, down dog split. Bend your knee, yawn, open that hip. Then draw your right knee to your nose and hold. Down dog split. Draw your right knee to your left tricep across the body. Pause there. Threading the leg through, either fallen triangle. If awkward Vajrasana is in your practice, taking that, or you can take the arm balance, Ekapada Kunyasana 1. For those in fallen triangle, push the hips up towards the ceiling. Gaze up. Down dog split, right leg lifts. Now draw your right knee to your nose and hold. Shifting the weight forward, maybe even your forehead is touching the knee. Pushing off of the mat. Now without removing your palms from the mat, right foot in between your hands, rise, warrior one. From your warrior one, yogis, draw your arms behind you, interlock your fingers like a big fist. Drive the fist down the back, roll your shoulders down the back, gaze up and back. Keep that right knee nice and bent. Exhale, hollow out the belly, hinging from those hips, devotional warrior. Right shoulder will draw right inside of that right thigh, driving your fist forward towards the front of the room. Now root to rise, press into the soles of the feet, warrior one. Right, recommitting to your original shape. Now open it up, warrior two, Veer Vajrasana 2. Take up some real estate on your mat, right? Widen the stance if you need to. Back foot is grounded. It's either parallel or slightly pigeon-toed towards you. Your right knee is forward. Right heel is in line with the arch of your left foot to give you kind of an alignment cue here. Centering the torso, right? As yogis, we're not in the past, nor are we in the future. We are present. Can you sit a little deeper into that shape? Can you draw the shoulders down the back? Can you zip up that belly? Now keep the legs, don't change your legs. Flip your right palm in receiving, tip it back, reverse your warrior. Now lengthen your right leg only, continue to reach towards your back room. Keep reaching. Now reach forward, finding triangle pose, Tsukasana. So reach, follow your right hand. So where your gaze goes, your body's gonna end up following you. Right hand will hit your shin, a block. Some of you may be toe lock. Your left arm is reaching to the sky, two shoulders in one line. That left arm is engaged, it's active. And we're gonna take a half bind. So back of your left hand, either draw it to your lower back or grab your inner right thigh with the left hand. But you wanna keep spinning the heart up and keep drawing that left shoulder head back. Now zip up that belly, yogi. Stay here or extend your right arm forward and hover for 3. Breathing here for 2. Keep your gaze over left shoulder. Reverse your half bound triangle, tip it back. Yes, beautiful yogis. Now just bend your front right knee, reverse your half bound warrior. We're coming into extended side angle yogis. So you can keep your half bind if you wish, or some of you might begin to find full binds here, right? So either bound, half bound, right forearm to your thigh. Some of you maybe even your inner right foot on a block or on a mat, but you're still spinning the heart up. So roll this left shoulder, head back, and draw your gaze over that left shoulder. Zip up that belly. Now from here, yogis, if you wish to keep your binds, you can. Otherwise, draw your gaze forward to the top of the mat. Grab your block if you need it, half moon pose. Reach forward with the right hand and lift your left leg. If you're not bound, take Tsukasana. Bend the left knee, reach back with your left hand and catch the foot and kick into the palm. Beautiful. Release the foot, half moon. Don't give up on the original shape. Now lower your left hand down to your mat, standing split pose. Now to start, yogis, getting that leg engaged in the sky, right? So I like to point my foot, right? But if flexing it is more in your practice, you can always flex it. Walking your hands maybe just a little bit closer towards your standing right leg, maybe hands to block, or maybe you grab your right shin or calf with one hand, or maybe both. But the purpose here is to root down into your mat with the right foot to get the left leg even higher to the sky. Now very slowly, yogis, we're gonna draw the left knee up into our chest and stand tall with the left knee into our chest. And just pause there. Right, building a little heat here. Now you can hold on to the shin, but I want you to find stability first in that standing right foot. Now from here, all we're gonna do is kick our left heel back into our left glute. Inhale our right arm to the sky, dancer's pose, grabbing onto either the inner left foot of the ankle, or you can grab onto the pinky toe edge of the foot. Depends on the practice here. Now, similar to that tabletop shape, we're gonna begin to kick before we do anything. Kick, kick, kick. And as you begin to kick, right, then you may begin to reach. It's the reach and the kick, the grounding of that right foot. Finding one focal point. This is your drishti, yogis. It's okay to fall. You can always come back into it. Falling is part of the journey. Now, very slowly, coming out of it the same way you came into it, inhale the left knee back up into your chest. Just pause. Exhale the left foot down to your mat. Exhale, fold over your legs. Hop your feet hips width distance apart and yogi toe lock your big toes, pointer, middle finger, right where your gorgeous flip-flops go. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs, let it go. Right, so putting a bend into those knees, belly possibly to the tops of the thighs here. Right, we're reaching the sits bones up as we pull on those big toes, elbows out, allow those shoulders just to draw down the back, right? The head is below the heart, right? Reducing any anxiety, any of the fight or flight response that may be coming up. All right, we have all these tools in our toolbox. Right, this breath, our ability to slow things down, right, to power through. Even when things get a little bit difficult. Right, it's a mindset. Release those beautiful toes, yogis. Bring your big toes to touch. And yes, you called it chair pose. Tsukasana. I love a good chair. Maybe sit a little deeper into this shape. Maybe even take a moment and smile. Now lift your heels, find your tippy toe chair pose. Now we are going into a crow pose. I'm going to guide you through it. This is how I typically teach students crow. Okay, so if you're newer to this shape, just really listen to my cues. From here, you're going to lift your heels and find a nice tippy toe chair if you're not there already. Very slowly ground your hands to your mat. Fingers are forward, eyes of elbows are forward. Now open up your knees and draw them to your triceps. Shift the weight forward into your full palm, from finger to palm. Your full hand is balancing. Now maybe one foot begins to lift, maybe the others, bending the elbows back towards you. You're here for 5. For those in crow, draw those heels closer to your glutes. For 3. Breathing here for 2. Option here, shoot back or step back, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. We will all meet in a downward facing dog. Right. Take a deep inhale through your nose, guys. Fill up, stick your tongue out, lion's breath. Whatever happened, happened. Whatever didn't happen, let it go. It's over. Inhale, left leg lifts, down dog split, bend the knee, open up that hip. Then draw your left knee to your nose and hold, really shifting that weight forward. Think of your plank. Down dog split, left leg lifts, reach it tall. Draw your left knee across the body to your right tricep, pausing there, and you have your options, right? There is an arm balance, but everyone else fall in triangle. Thread the leg through, spin the heart up. It's one of my favorite shapes. Awkward Vishma, spin that heart up. Yes. Down dog split, left leg lifts. Draw your left knee to your nose and hold. Now I know this is super uncomfortable, right? But shift the weight forward, zip up that belly. Can you draw your left heel a little bit closer towards you? Can you push a little bit harder off of that mat? Lightly left foot in between your hands, rising warrior one. Right? And there's different variations of warrior one depending on people's practices. So setting it up just from an alignment standpoint, that left knee, it's in line with the hip. Your back right foot is grounded to the pinky toe edge, and you're aiming to draw that left hip back a bit. It likes to plug forward in this shape. And maybe your palms are touching and your gaze draws up for Ashtanga prayer. Now, draw your arms behind you. Interlock your fingers at your lower back and drive that fist down your back. Feel the shoulder blades glide down the back. Now I want you to punch your chest up towards the ceiling and find a little back bend here. Then on your exhale, drive your belly in, hinging from the hips, devotional warrior. Your left shoulder will draw inside of your left thigh and you're driving the fist forward. So, right, not forgetting about this nice opening for your shoulders, right? Trying to get the palms to touch possibly all the way to the wrist creases, which means you need to cinch those shoulder blades together almost like you're holding a pencil right in between them. Now root to rise, press into the soles of the feet, warrior one. Recommit. Open up Veer Vajrasana to a warrior two. And I'm a big believer in taking up real estate on the mat, right? This is your mat. So if you need to widen your stance a bit, widen it. I have a little bit of a shorter stance in warrior one. So for me, warrior two, I have long legs. I have to widen my stance. Stacking that left knee over your ankle, right? You're not gripping for dear life with your toes on the left foot, right? You should be able to wiggle them a little bit. The back foot is parallel, maybe slightly pigeon-toed, and your left heel is in line with the arch of your right foot. Shoulders are drawn down the back. Can you sit a little deeper into this shape? Challenge yourself. Now flip your left palm in an effort to receive. Reverse your warrior, tip it back like you're painting your ceiling, right? But keep that left knee nice and bent. Now simply just lengthen only your left leg. Keep reaching back. This should feel fabulous all along that left side body. Now I'm a big believer of where your gaze goes, your body's going to end up following you. Now gaze towards your left hand, begin to reach forward towards the front of the room. Reach, don't stop reaching, triangle pose, Tsukasana. Left hand to your shin, a block, and some of you toe up, but the right arm is reaching to that sky. Lean back slightly as if you were in between two panes of glass. Now half bind, take the back of your right hand to your lower back or grabbing the inner left thigh, right? Depends on flexibility and length of arm, honestly. And take a moment just to roll your right shoulder head back. Yes, broaden up that chest. Now zip up that belly and simply extend your left arm towards the front of your room, towards the front of the mat. And breathe, hold, hover. It's short term. It's not permanent. Reverse your half bound triangle, tip it back. Yes, it should feel good. You're out of it. Bend the front left knee, reverse your half bound warrior. Find extended side angle. So either left forearm draws to your thigh, hand to your mat, inside or outside. There's, I think personally, a lot of different variations of this shape. But I want everyone to, no matter what shape you're in, I want you to really roll your right shoulder back, zip up that belly. Some of you might find full binds here, right? But if you're in a bind, make sure that your heart is not dropping below the chest, right? You're not dipping down to get it. You're still spinning the heart up. Now, gaze down towards your mat. Reach forward with your left hand. Similar way that you came in a triangle, you're going to keep reaching, tip the weight into that left foot, and the right leg will lift. Half moon. And you can find Tsukasana here if it's in your practice. If you're bound, you have to slowly unbind yourself. Reach back with your right hand and catch the foot. Stacking hips, in this case, it's the right hip over your left. Playing with balance. Right? It's a practice, and falling is part of the journey. Release the foot if you have it, half moon, recommit. Now take your right hand to your mat, standing split pose. All right, so we're in the home stretch here, guys. Now engage the limb in the sky, right? So anytime we have a lifted limb, whether it's an arm, a hand, a foot, we want the limb engaged to keep it light, right? Otherwise, you're carrying a kind of a dead weight in the sky. So either walking your hands closer to that standing leg, right? If you took handstands, some of you might have taken handstands. We're fine, just a few more breaths here. Now, if you're in handstand, just meet us in a standing split with the right leg lifted. And we're very slowly, yogis, going to draw our right knee up into our chest and stand tall. Use a little bit of that lower core control there. And first pause and find stability in the shape, right? I know that the left glute is on fire. Right, but take a moment, just breathe, send some softness to it. Now very slowly kick your right heel back towards your right glute. Reach down with your right hand, grab either the outside or the inside of the foot, depending, and inhale your left arm to the sky, reach. Now find stability first. We're always stable before we're mobile. Now begin to kick, 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 kick before you reach. Find a little bit of a back bend here, and then very slowly you might even begin to start to reach forward. It's the kick and reach. Keep kicking. If you've fallen out, you can come right back into it. Now very slowly come out of it the exact same way you came into it. Inhale the right knee up into your chest. Beautiful. And release it, it's over. Hop your feet hips width distance apart. Fold over your legs and place your palms underneath the soles of the feet. Try to get those toesies right up to the wrist creases, which means for 99% of us, unless you're like me with a very long torso, you will need to bend your knees quite a bit to have this happen. Right now, inhale to a flat back, draw the weight into the palm. Exhale, just fold over your legs. Right, so you're stepping on your hands, or maybe giving your wrists a little massage with the toes. You're reaching your sits bones up, but your belly is still making contact to the thighs to support the lower back and to support your hamstrings. Right, your head is below the heart. Right, we're slowing it down. Maybe even close your eyes. I typically close my eyes in this forward fold. Gently release this, yogis, and just hop your feet mats with distance apart. We're going to find a nice Malasana Squat. I always find Malasana to be a love-hate relationship for some. Some love it, like myself. It's one of my favorite things to do. Others can't stand it. So if you're one of those, like my husband, who can't stand it, sit on a block, right? Try to ground the soles of the feet. Draw your triceps and your elbows in between your thighs and draw your prayer to heart center. And just pause here for a moment. I typically like to shimmy a little bit from side to side. And from here, all we're going to do is ground our right palm down to the mat. Inhale the left arm up and find a nice big twist. Yawn it open. Gently release. Let's just switch sides. Left palm down. Inhale the right arm up. Yawn it open. Oh, that feels good. Now come back to center, yogis. Malasana. This is my super creative transition style, which everyone, those who know me know. Extend your arms forward and take a lovely seat. Navasana, your boat pose. I know, it's super creative. Now just pause in your boat pose, right? You can extend the legs as long as it doesn't compromise the chest. If you're really reaching to stay in this shape by lengthening the legs, keep the knees bent. Then on your inhale, lower Ardhanavasana. Legs will hover, prayer to heart center. Shoulder blades are off the mat. Tilt that tailbone under. Exhale, rise, Navasana, boat pose. We're just gonna do 4 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, yogis. Inhale. Exhale. From here, yogis, grab the backs of your thighs, roll onto your back and draw your knees into your chest. Big squeeze. Rock around. I like to roll around on my lower back. I call it a rockabout. And from here, yogis, just ground the soles of the feet, and we're going to take 2 rounds of back bends. Bridge or wheel, whatever works. All right. So for my bridgers, I'm going to guide you guys through that one first, and then I'll do it for wheel, okay? So bringing the feet, hips width distance apart, you should be able to semi-graze your heels with your middle finger. Draw the arms along the side body, pressing into the heels, and slowly begin to lift the hips off of the mat. So lifting the lower, middle, and upper back off of the mat. Try not to pinch those glutes like crazy. It's a gentle little pinch, and push your hips up towards the ceiling. Now, some might place a block to the base of the sacrum and enjoy a nice restorative practice there. It's a wonderful one. Others might draw the shoulders underneath, interlock the grip, and drive the fist down toward the heels. If you're coming out of wheel, make sure that you tuck your chin under first, protect that neck. Everyone else, slowly lower, upper, middle, lower, sacrum. Walk your feet mats width distance apart and just rock the knees back and side to side, like windshield wipers on your car. Let's just find one more round, bridge or wheel, whatever works. Yogi's choice, it's Saturday. Right? Take what feels good. If you have another one in your practice you wish to take. Now for my wheelers, making sure that your feet remain parallel, right? The tendency here is the hips want to splay directly open, okay? So pressing into the palms, right? So there is wrist strength involved here. Lifting the full upper, middle, lower back, finding that back bend, pressing into those palms, drawing towards the midline. So really almost as if you had a block in between your thighs. Take 2 more breaths here. Now, as you lower out of your wheel, make sure that you tuck your chin under first, lowering upper, middle, lower sacrum to your mat. Walk your feet mats width distance apart, and just rock those knees side to side. We'll imbibing for the spine. Now you're going to keep rocking your knees side to side, yogis, only you're going to rock them all the way to the right. Take your right ankle and place it over your left thigh and draw your left knee down to the mat. Cactus your arms. Now keep the shape of your legs. All you're going to do here is draw your left knee up into your chest, figure 4. And you can reach through, grab the back of the thigh if that works. If you have a strap and you want to use a strap, you can. And you can stay here. If you would like to, extend the left leg to your sky, maybe point and flex the foot, roll out your ankle a bit. I always find a tremendous amount of snap, crackle, pops in my ankle, which makes sense because it carries my entire body weight most of my day. So roll it out, give it some TLC. It's like your wrist. It's kind of a under looked at area. And then gently release this, rebend the left knee and just wrap your right leg over your left. So you can either keep figure 4, take on Gomukhasana on your back, grabbing opposing ankles, pulling those knees towards you, trying to root your tailbone down to the mat. And then when you're ready, we're going to take these knees to the left side of the room. You can keep them crossed, but if this isn't serving you, you can always just take a nice supine twist. Knees to the left, gaze to your right. If the shoulders are a little tired, maybe you bend the right arm. It's similar to a cactus or a football goalpost, depending on what resonates visually. All right, so beginning to wind it down in a very similar to fashion in the way we began. And then slowly come to center and we're going to reset this together. So bring your feet mats width distance apart. Take a gentle rocking of those knees side to side like windshield wipers on your car. And then when you're ready, take those knees all the way to the left, and this time taking the left ankle over right thigh and draw that right knee down, cactus your arms, and just take a moment there. Now keep the shape of these legs. All you're going to do is draw your right knee into your chest. Nice figure four. And I love figure four. I think it's a safe way to kind of get into those glutes, give a little TLC to that hot spot, your piriformis, right? So maybe extend the right leg towards your ceiling, point and flex the foot, roll out that ankle, right? I always, again, find a lot of snap, crackle, pops in those ankles. And then when you're ready, maybe you bend the right knee and you wrap your left leg over right. Find Gomukhasana or stay in figure four. Either variation works. And then when you're ready, taking your knees over to the right, gaze to your left. And again, you can keep this twist or the eagle bound wrap of sorts, or you can ditch it entirely. Take what feels best on the body today. And then when you're ready, come to center, yogis. Draw the knees into your chest, happy baby pose, grabbing the pinky toe edge of your feet, right? Everyone, we all love happy baby. I sometimes think of a happy baby when I take on this shape, so I take a little giggle, bring a little softness in. Right, so grabbing the pinky toe edge of your feet, the soles of the feet begin to point towards your ceiling or towards your sky. Maybe you rock a bit, rock about, think of a happy baby. And we aim to draw those knees down to the mat. So eventually you'll be flat on that mat from the tip of that tailbone all the way to the crown of your head, right? I sometimes draw my chin down a little bit towards my chest, kind of locking my throat chakra a bit, but I'm also finding a little more extra length in the back of my neck. Now from here, you might want to straddle the legs if that's part of your practice, or just place your hands in your inner thighs and open up the legs nice and wide. It should feel pretty good. And from here, yogis, draw the legs to touch, extend the legs just to the sky. You're in a staff shape here. You can use a block. If you have a wall near you and you want to put those legs at the wall, you can. Let's breathe. And just make fists with your hands and just take a gentle pat down all around your glutes, your thighs, your quads, love taps. There's some free stuff that you can ignite in there, I promise you. And then when you're ready, yogis, draw the knees up into your chest. Draw your forehead to your knees, finding our great lock, squeezing all to the midline here. And you're here for 3. Squeezing here for 2. And 1, release, Shavasana. Close your eyes, yogis. Allow the body to simply release to your mat. Turn the palms up to the ceiling. Utilize blankets, bolsters, blocks. Arms draw down. A complete and utter surrender of body and mind. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Rumi. Slowly, yogis, begin to wiggle your fingers, begin to wiggle your toes, begin to draw a little bit of life back into your bodies. Bear witness to this body's awakening. Extending your arms long behind you, big stretch here, stretching fingers all the way down to your toes. Maybe there's still a big, beautiful yawn in there or a sigh. And when you're ready, slowly draw the knees up into your chest. Nice big squeeze here, and give yourself a nice big hug. Maybe a nice sigh comes out. And in your way, your time today, yogis, begin to make that journey back to your rooted Tsukasana seat at the top of the mat, the crossing of the shins. Sitting on a block or sitting firmly into the mat. Meeting where we began a little over 60 minutes ago. From your Tsukasana, your superior sweet seat, begin to draw the sit bones back down into the mat or into your block. Drawing the lower belly in and restack the shoulders over the hips. And pause, take a moment just to recognize any shifts in the body or the mind since you were last in this seat. Left hand to heart, right hand to belly, and bowing your head in gratitude to this body, your temple. Take a deep inhale, yogis. Feel the belly rise. Open your mouth, HA. Prayer to your third eye center, yogis, your intuition and continued guiding light on this journey. May it guide you always. Remember to trust yourself and your instincts. You are your own inner teacher and guru. Om Shanti, yogis, go in peace and share this peace with all that surrounds you. Namaste. Beautifully done, yogis. That was so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's so nice to see some familiar faces. I see some yoga medicine friends, some Exhale and Equinox friends. Hey, Jen. Hey, City friends.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. It was such a pleasure for me.
Wonderful.
It's a pleasure to be an ambassador for the brand, and it's so nice to meet all your wonderful faces. You can always find me. I'm obviously on Instagram and all those social media things, but you can also find me on the Cure Grace website. So, yeah, well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Stay well, stay healthy.
Claudia, thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so happy you enjoyed
joined a few minutes
that.
late, but it was so wonderful.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. It's you know, feel a little heat. Nothing wrong with that.
I know. I saw a few people practicing outdoors.